Hello everyone, and welcome to another Can-Am Spyder video. So you can see the Spyder in front of me here sitting in the garage, and the reason for that is we have been going through a fairly extensive period of kind of wet weather lately, so there hasn't been a lot of riding opportunities. But you got to take these things in stride in the summertime. On the upside, the outside of our house is looking pretty lush with all the rain we've been getting. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be changing the air filter on the Spyder. This is a recommended maintenance stop at around 30,000 kilometers, which we are very, very close to. We are going to be heading away on a vacation in less than 2 weeks, and we'll definitely go over 30,000 kilometers during that, so I want to get it done beforehand. Also in this video, I'm going to review all the maintenance we've done on the Spyder. We've owned the Spyder now for just about 3 full years. In fact, it is 3 full years. And we've got just shy of 30,000 kilometers on it, as I mentioned. And I'm gonna go through all the things that we've done to the Spyder maintenance-wise during those 3 years and during those 30,000 kilometers. So stick around with me today, and I hope you enjoy the video. So this is the area underneath the passenger seat on the Spyder, and I've removed it. It's just sitting right there. And you'll notice that right down in there, there is a Schrader valve, and what that is used for is to pump air into the rear shock, and it is adjusted based on how much load is being carried on the Spyder based on the driver's weight and the passenger's weight. I noticed not long after we got the bike that bladder was not holding air. I would pump it up and within a day it was completely deflated again. So that went into the shop, and they had to end up replacing it. So that was the first thing that was ever done in the Spyder, and that was obviously done under warranty. The first maintenance stop for the Spyder is at 5,000 kilometers. This is a mandatory maintenance that has to be done at a dealer by a certified BRP technician. They do a full inspection of the motorcycle, and they also do an oil change at this point. When the bike was in for that maintenance stop, however, they did find a problem down in the ball joints, and so they replaced them both under warranty. There was something wrong with them and they had to be replaced. So that was done at that same service stop. But other than that, there was nothing else found at the 5,000 kilometer stop. At the end of the first season of the bike, I did the winterizing, and I did another oil change at the end of that season. During the second season that we had the bike, which was 2019, there was no issues that year, and there was no real scheduled maintenance stops that had to be done, and I did the year-end maintenance and oil change again. At the beginning of the 2020 season, we purchased our lug and roll trailer to drag behind the Spyder. And that required that we get this trailer hitch installed on the back. At that point in time, I made a decision that we were going to change dealerships, and I started going to a new dealer for us down in Uxbridge called Uxbridge Motorsports. And while the Spyder was in getting the trailer hitch installed, I had them do a complete checkup on the Spyder. Sort of bumper to bumper, even though it doesn't have bumpers. Bumper to bumper checkup, all the safety items looked at, brakes, battery. They checked to make sure there was no recalls. They checked to make sure that all of the software on the bike was up to date. And we have kind of made that a standard that every year the bike will go into a qualified technician to have it checked over. It just gives us a nice peace of mind that we're knowing we're the best we can possibly be when the season starts each year. So here we are, 2021. The bike went in for its usual service, and there was some things that had to be dealt with this year. The number one thing that was going on with the bike at the beginning of this season was there was a noise coming from that pulley right there. That's the front pulley of the drive system, the big belt that goes all the way to the back, goes around that pulley, and that goes right into the engine. That pulley was making a clunking noise, which is an indicator that it needs to be replaced. There is a problem with some of the pulleys on these Spyders, that the spline on the inside starts to wear out, and that is a symptom of the problem. So that had to be replaced. Fortunately for me, I had an extended warranty and it got done under warranty. The other things that happened during that service was we got a new back tire. It was worn out. It had 25,000 kilometers on it, which I believe is normal. The other thing they found on the front tires, they noticed a very slight stepping on the outside of the tire, which indicated that the bike needed an alignment. So that was done at the same time. When you perform an oil change on the Spyder, this panel needs to be removed. You'll see the 4 screws, and there's some push pins at the top, and also this axis panel has to come off. I removed this equivalent panel on the other side because I wanted to show you something that had happened. So you'll notice those 2 brass bushings, and they are just swaged into a kind of a plastic bracket. I noticed when I took the panel off the other side of the Spyder that one of those bushings came out with the screw, so it obviously had failed. Uxbridge tried to fix it when I had the bike in 2020, and when I did the oil change at the end of 2020, I noticed that it had failed again. So when it went in this year, they just replaced that whole bracket for me. So now we know exactly what not to do when we're doing the oil change and taking that panel off and on. The screws that go into those bushings are to be torqued at no more than 3.5 Newton meters, which is very low. So I thought I would take that panel off to show you what had happened there. Also, I thought it might have made it easier to do the air filter change, which I'm gonna do, but it's down in there, and I don't think it's gonna be much easier. So we're gonna move on to that right now, and I'm gonna take that cover off and change the air filter. So I've just placed this little access cover back in place so you can see how it would be if you were doing this the normal way. So I'm just going to remove that out of the way now. And I've already removed the cover, and you can see the old air filter is just sitting in there, and you can see the 4 places that it attaches, and this is the cover. It was a little awkward to get those screws out, so it was very hard to film, but that's what the cover looks like, and that obviously just sits in over top there. Let's see how close I can get in there with that. There we go. So you can see the 4 areas where it fastens onto. So I've removed the air filter now, and it's pretty obvious. You can see the one on the right is the old one, and the one on the left is a replacement one. So it's pretty dirty. I think it's time for replacement. So I put the new air filter in, and that's about the best view I can give you of that cover back in place. You can see the screws. So it was a pretty easy process. That cover came off. Those 4 screws are captive on that cover, which is nice. So once you get them loosened off and you get the cover out, they come out with it, and you don't run the risk of losing them. I'm sure they thought about that when they were designing it. So that's the air filter job done. Well everyone, that brings another Can-Am Spyder video to a close. I just wanted to do a review and let you know about all the maintenance we've done on the Spyder over the last 3 years. As always, thank you very much for watching.